afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the third edition of ATF Animation Pitch. Every year, I think it's growing in size. I think this year we've received about 50 entries, and we've chosen 6. It was usually we select 5, but we selected 6. But unfortunately, one of them couldn't make it due to visa issues. Anyways, the major reason for us doing something like this is to kind of promote talent in this region. And I thank everyone for at ATF, on the ATF officials, all thank you and for the opportunity. And I thank the judges. Every year they've been very kind to fly over all the way to Singapore for the valuable additions and stuff. Of course, some of them are right here in Singapore. With 850 million kids in Asia, I believe that there's not enough content being produced for the children. Initially, the major bottleneck was the reach or distribution. So with lesser kids channels in Asia, and that is changing very quickly with the advent of OTT platforms and mobile. So it's much easier to reach these 850 million kids, but still I believe we don't have enough content being produced, and there's huge opportunity right in front of us. We need more talent, we need more successful shows, and I think we feel one of the ways to do that is this. So this is the third year, and the first year there was a winner from Taiwan. The show was The Western Journey of Pixie. I hear that it's currently being made into a feature film, so it is great progress. I think next year we'll hear more on that project. On the second year, which is last year, I think Galileo Leo was the winner of the show, and we hear that it's being made into a TV series. So we're looking forward for successful story of these winners also. And I think, so I'm looking forward, the judges, on behalf of judges, we're looking forward to hear the 5 pitches today. And of course, there's only going to be 1 winner. And I think the other 4, I think there are some big broadcasters in the room. So I wish the the team of the 5 pitches good luck. Thank you, guys.
We now call up this year's lineup of judges to join Rajiv on stage. Can we have Leslie Lee, Vice President for Kids at Warner Media Entertainment Networks, Vijay Sobrahimania, Head of Content at Amazon Prime Video India, Edward Badnia, Kids and Family Content APAC of Netflix, and Justin Demon, President and Production and Acquisition at 108 Media. All right, now let's have the first finalist, as previously agreed upon in order, from India, Afternoon Dreams.
Hi, good afternoon, guys. We are from Afternoon Dreams, and maybe this is the right time, it's afternoon, so maybe our dreams might come true. So, who are we? Afternoon Dreams. I am Mangesh.
Yeah, I'm Santosh.
So we basically call ourselves an IP's idea hub. We basically come up with IP ideas. And what are we presenting today? A very simple concept, humanity, which is supposed to be most intelligent species on the planet, capable of anything, but governed by its aggression and the youth. A species fast in developing, but slow in maturing. Our period of ignorance has had profound effects across the globe. The world is falling apart, pollution, garbage, floods, global warming, eruptions, effects that can be reversed if nature is given time to repair the damage. We all need to remember, we have only one home. So what do we need? We need more people to save Earth. We need every kid to understand the value of a healthy planet. We need to make our kids more aware of the environment. We need to get ourselves ready for a healthy future. We need to protest against the wrong and the heartless. Enough is enough. It's our time to be our own superheroes. Introducing our superhero, Battu Ranger. Help him, help you. So that's Battu Ranger. Now what is Battu Ranger? The whole concept of Battu Ranger, 7-year-old Battu is a marshal. He's basically a Boy Scout, but he's not a Mowgli, he's not a jungle boy. He's homeschooled. He's there because his father is a naturalist, and that's why he's homeschooled by his father. He's got this bunch of animals with him who become his gang to fight against the wrecked Heartless. And he lives in this beautiful island called Alag Land.
Yeah, Alag Land is a world in itself. Basically, this is Battu's world, and Battu is kind of love this world. And this world is kind of having everything in it, kind of volcanoes and the marshy things and the sands and the snow. This is the kind of world Battu is.
So that gives us a great pitch to put across a lot of stories together. Battu, yes, he's 7. Of course, he's a kid. But make no mistake, he's a fighter, he's a survivor. Always alert, Battu is a quick learner. And he's learned everything from the jungle from his friends. Jaggu, the cautious jaguar. Programmed, alarmed, he's the danger alarm of the rangers. So this is his gang, Battu and his gang, which has Jaggu, Molu, the young, angry mole. Act first, think never. He's the guy, like, the worst thing you can do is call him a mouse. He says, I'm not a mouse, and may God help you if you ever do that. Ruby.
Ruby is the no-nonsense, the only female in the group. She is a drone, and she is a perfectionist.
There's Pampo. Happy, goofy, huge, the happy elephant. He's the finisher. He comes and finishes every plot with some stupidity that he does. And welcome to the villain, the Heartless. And why is he heartless? He's kept his heart somewhere else so that all the decisions that he takes to take over the island, Alag Land, is from his brains and not his heart. It's not an emotional decision any longer. And he has 2 subordinates.
Colonel and Journal, who actually kind of, these are 2 brainless
They are the
guys,
goofy ones.
who mess up things for Heartless. And they kind of rule the army
The robotic army of Heartless. This is a small trailer of Asta.
Fear for no danger, Battu is a ranger. Left, right, left, left, right, left. From all the corners end to end, jungle is his homeland. Left, right, left, left, right, left. Be a tiny little pest or mammoth, Roy, no mighty is. Up high with birds or just for fun, Battu's friends with everyone. Whenever duty calls in, Battu goes all in. Evil eyes dead on, Battu fights head on. Our strongest fighter, Battu is a tiger. Jungle adventures are fun, Battu ranger number 1. Left, right, left, left, right, left.
I'll skip the log lines and stuff like that and just go to the last slide, which is Battu Ranger. It's an HD 2D animation, duration 11 minutes, language English, Hindi, genre is action adventure. Target audience we considering 6 to 12. Thank you guys for giving us the opportunity. We're ready for a Q&A. Right, yeah.
Hi guys, great presentation, well done. The island is looking really great. It's got lots of different locations and environments, which would make for some interesting stories. You focused a lot on the characters there. I would have liked you to not skip over the log lines, because I would have loved to have known like the structure of an episode and like what's going to draw kids to keep coming back every week beyond just having the entry point of Battu Ranger. But I know that's something you can get into at a later time.
Can I just explain the story?
Of course.
Yeah, in a second.
Kind of Heartless is the villain, and he wants to capture this whole complete thing, the whole complete island. So what his tricks are to capture the whole complete oxygen from the jungle. So the animals living in it become kind of dizzy because of less of oxygen in it. And then Battu has to overcome it with his tricks and his witty nature.
And it's not philosophical. It's not about telling kids about what to do and how to do. It's a funny story that tells people how to save, how oxygen is important and stuff like that, rather than being philosophical in that nature.
Got it. Cool. Congrats again.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next up from Malaysia, Gairang Pictures.
Hello. Good afternoon. My name is Wen Xiang, the screenwriter for Chu Hai Ji, The Last Chronicle, which is a 3D animated feature film project targeting China and other regional markets. It's a fine mix of fantasy, wuxia, comedy, and adventure with some elements of romance. It was one of the top 20 projects at the Beijing film market. It was a live action project then, and after we rewrote it, a finalist at the Alt Media China Hollywood Screenwriting Fellowship organized by Screencraft. As we start out only with a screenplay and we are still looking for initial funding, our visual development is at very early stages for character design. So our story is about a self-serving Chinese swordsman who gets conned into going on a treasure hunt in Malacca, a trading city in Southeast Asia, where he's caught instead in an unthinkable quest to stop the restoration of a fearsome monster once defeated by Zheng He's fleet. So Zheng He was a Chinese admiral who once commanded the greatest fleet on earth during the Ming Dynasty, right before the closed-door policy began. Even until today, people still debate about the real purpose of his voyages, which became the inspiration to our story. So our story is set 16 years after Zheng He passed away, when his fleet has long been disbanded and people in China are banned from going out to sea. Our protagonist, Yi, is a jerk who makes a living doing all kinds of bad things, even stealing fish for the rich. All he cares about is money, money, money. One day, however, Yi meets his nemesis, Duo Yun, a mysterious woman who claims that she's looking for a nautical chart that could lead to a keyring brought from the West by Zheng He years ago, and that if Yi can help her find the keyring and offer it to the Emperor of China, she will split the rewards with him. Blinded by greed, Yi takes the job, and this is how their quarrelsome adventure begins. Together, they survive treacherous pirates, a head-chewing seokoi, a notorious stretch of sea that will sink anything, and they had to fight off a Kalambai, a swarm of vampire-like Manananggal, and war tigers in the jungle. As unsafe feelings blossom between the two, they also befriend a former Malaccan admiral who once fought alongside Zheng He and his fleet against a fearsome monster Raksasa, which he suspects is not yet dead. Reaching Malacca, Yi and Duo face fierce competition, not just from a hodgepodge of international pirates led by a local Nyonya, but also Yuna Yu, the ruthless head of spy police who has gun rope and who could mysteriously command non-human creatures to do his bidding. Fortunately, Yi chances upon a powerful weapon, Varunasra, that he will later use to fight off the monsters. However, as they do find the nautical chart, Duo tries to destroy it instead. Turns out that, adopted by Zheng He, she's the last of her elfish Bunian race that has been wiped out by the Raksasa during the last Great War. Fearing Yuna Yu might be trying to bring back the monsters with Kirin's blood, Duo begs Yi to burn the chart, but angry at her for calling him, he selfishly joins the pirates instead, whose goal is achieving longevity. Yi soon realizes his mistakes when Duo suffers a deadly wound trying to save him and the pirates from Yuna Yu, who finally gets his hands on the chart. Desperate to save her life, Yi gets the pirates' help to locate the Kirin and finds himself on the ultimate warpath with Yuna Yu, who turns out to be a secret vessel for the Raksasa. As our film ends with Yi deciding to making a selfless decision to bring a baby Kirin back to the West instead of going back home, our story could potentially be developed into a film franchise as it progresses westward to India, to Middle East, to Europe, and even to America, following the route once taken by Zheng He's fleet, as claimed by some Western scholars. We are a small film production company, so we are here to learn, and we open to suggestions and any kinds of collaborations that can move the project forward. Thank you.
Very garang, huh? He's very garang.
I'm sorry?
You're very garang. Anyways, that was a Southeast Asian joke. Anyways, nice, interesting concept. I would say that I like the fact that you have put in a lot of different elements of Asia into the premise, but I just feel that it lacks a little bit of focus because you're throwing every single element of Southeast Asia, North Asia, and South Asia into a story. I think the great thing about wuxia stories are that they can be told over many, many books and chapters. But for a feature film like this, you have probably 90 minutes to tell a story. So you need to be a little bit more focused in what the mission is, number one, who your lead characters are, number two, and number three, who your sort of protagonists are, just to make it feel like it's one singular story. Because right now you've got many, many different things in one story. It becomes a bit of rojak, if you I could use another Southeast Asian term. So yeah, that was my opinion.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
you.
But great of effort.
Just a quick one. I'm going to continue on his point a little bit, but why was the decision to make from live action to, how was the decision process to change from live action to?
Actually, the project began as a wuxia film without any fantasy elements because we tried to keep the budget low. But when we were in Beijing, people were kept telling us, you have to add fantasy elements because that's what audience in China wants. So we make it, but then the scale of the project got so big, it's really beyond us because for a fantasy epic film like this, you either need to have a big name director, or it's supported by a big studios, or it's based on a famous IP. So we have none. So that's why we think that we will try animation because Malaysia now, there's a funding for digital content development. So we are thinking of trying that.
I think one last thing is, since you're very early stage of development, I mean, Leslie also kind of hinted at it. Maybe think about doing a series about it because I can understand all these elements coming into play. I can see a lot of turning points in your story as well. I think it would be better served as a series more than a feature.
Yeah, we can consider if there's anyone interested to turn it into a series. Thank you. Thank you.
Next up from China, the Rike Group.
Hi everyone, thank you for coming. As you might have read in your notebooks, my name is Diana and I'm coming from China. It's not a joke, I'm a CEO of Fun Union, a Guangzhou and Hong Kong-based company, part of Rike Group. Today I would like to introduce you our new show called Weather Wheel. It's a beautiful 3D CGI show, a preschool series, comedy adventure with a strong edutainment values. The main characters are the creatures who we call weather makers. They live above the sky on the beautiful cloud islands, and the weather makers are responsible for creating the weather and solving its problems and sometimes their own mistakes. It's not an easy task, and it requires a lot of creativity and spirited dedication. Each episode is split into 3 parts. It's an opening, a story full of adventures, and a 3-minute educational part, where we explain about weather conditions, how the weather works, for example, where the rainbows and lightnings come from. This is the main character, Breezy. She never gives up. That's teacher Elle explaining to the youngest characters, Breezy and Misty, why clouds come in different shapes and sizes. They and the kids from the audience will learn a lot about some amazing natural phenomena, such as northern lights or hurricanes. And we are currently, the main characters are of different ages, and they all represent weather conditions, such as wind, clouds, rain, snow, rainbows, thunder, and so on. And we are currently working on several co-productions with such partners as CCTV and Alibaba Group. And we are looking for investors, broadcasters, and co-producers for our new show. We started to develop a climate-oriented show before it became a trend, and we think that that's the right time right now to create and release it. And I will be around to answer your questions, and now I would like to suggest you to take a look to a teaser which we have produced. Thank you.
Hey everybody! Reporting live from Weatherville. Today's weather is going to be the best! I know, because I organized it all myself. First, hey, who are you? You weren't in my plan. Why are you working so fast, Misty?
Because of you, Breezy. You ordered 3 million clouds.
3 million? Oh.
So, you two. Which one of these clouds gets my raindrops?
10 raindrops, 3 million clouds.
Pretty weird.
I think I got it all a little mixed up. Huh?
What's that? Hail?
Don't worry, I'll sort everything out. Huh? A rainbow? How am I going to fix everything? Oh, I know! There! The best weather! I told you so!
Hi. Fantastic presentation, and it's a really great looking show, and weather is a concept that is so simple to understand, and every kid always at that kind of age wonders, like, where does rain come from? So these are very key things that could cover a range of storylines. If I have one comment, it's just that it's you could probably look to introduce a little bit more diversity into it. And the ages of on the presentation, the ages of 2 of the characters were quite relatable for the audience you're looking for, but another 2 are like 15 and 18, and you have to kind of wonder why those young ones would be hanging with the older ones. So maybe we'd want to bring those ages a bit closer together and look to make them a bit more reflective of the audience that might watch the show, maybe in China or around Asia. But other than that, fantastic.
Thank you for your comment. We definitely thought about these points, and I'm sure when we have a partner together, we will work on it in more details, for sure.
Cool.
No more questions. Thank you so much for your attention. Thank you.
Okay, next up from Indonesia, we have Hello Motion.
Okay, my name is Waditya. I'm from Indonesia. I will present about my character named Cichan. So a few years ago, I got a new job as a bedtime storyteller for my two lovely kids. So I have an idea to create our own character. So the formula was kelinci, or in English, we call it rabbit. So this rabbit is my son's pet. Sadly, she died because got bitten by the cat. Plus, this is my son who got a pony hairstyle named Achan. So kelinci plus Achan equal Cichan. It's so simple. So this is my spontaneous bedtime story drawing. And I have a lot make this kind of drawing. So long story short, I got a deal with one of the biggest publisher in Indonesia. And until now, we already made more than 50 book titles. And there is a lot of mom and dad in Indonesia that happy with this kind of book. For example, Kaiden's mom, she said that Kaiden loves to read Cichan. Now Kaiden can tell the parents that he needs to go to the toilet to take a pee. So there is two main places in Cichan's story. First is home. You can meet his parent and his sister. And then school. You can meet his diverse friend from human, animal to monster. And I want to make a signature. So based on famous fruit in Indonesia, rose apple. So I create rose apple nose style. So I implemented to all character in Cichan universe. So we do 360 marketing from music, event, video, until games. We have three messages. One is positive values, imagination, and creativity. And Cichan is targeted to preschool, and until now we have 60% female audience. So we want to make content according to what parents experience with their children. For example, we make a video about my kids don't like to eat veggies. We got 1.2 million views. Or my kids always mess up the room. We got 1.3 million views. My kids cry easily, 3 million views. So this is our loyalists. We call it Team Cichan. We got a lunchbox from our fans, a drawing from 5-year-old fans, or review it by 4-year-old fans. So we have a lot of incredible expression and response. For example, this girl is showing Cichan and friends mural in her room. And if somebody celebrate their birthday with Cichan theme, we give them a title, which is Team Cichan Hardcore. So we have a mission in the future to make Cichan eyeball increase globally. So internally, we have a program, we call it Cichanization. So let's see our Cichan video profile. Karya dari Naila. Wah, gambarnya bagus ya. Wah, karya dari Kaila dan Dava.
Ding 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 ding. Mana? Cichan? Wah, di sini banyak bukunya Cichan.
Wow,
okay, let's Chichanization together. Just email me because we want in the future gonna make animated series, future film, Chichan Cafe, and other Chichan streams. Thank you very much.
So, could you, it seems a bit developed, like, if it's understatement. So what exactly are you looking for, hopefully, from the audience and from us?
Like I said before, we want to go globally because Chichan still in a local segment. So, and we until now we haven't got any animated series, developed animated series, just a music clip and a comic and bedtime storybooks. So from this event, I hope we got a partner to develop the TV series. Thank you.
I've got a question. What do you see as the vision for the Chichan TV show then? How would it differ from the books and the videos that you see on YouTube? How would you expand the story?
The base story is still the same about family and friendship in home and school, but with animation and distribution, for me the important thing is the distribution in TV format and another channel. So the story is not gonna be different, but how we broadcast and distribute to global market. Thank you very much.
Next up from South Korea, we have Take-Tune Enterprise.
Hi, my name is Sophia Lee from Take-Tune Enterprise. I'm really happy to be here to introduce little girl Linda, the curious world of Linda. I have pitched this show 2 months ago in Cannes, MIP Junior. Nothing happened, and then but I think something happened here. So I'm here. Let's see. So main idea of this show is perspective of kids, what they thinking. They're thinking differently. Their perspectives are different to the others. Let's see the trailer. Thank you. So as you see the video, it's a 2D show, and format-wise, 78 episodes, 7 minutes, a lot, and it's preschool. If you remember just the short video, Linda, the thing happening at Linda's aunt, actually, she's not there, but she has free access to her curiosity shop. Hi, Linda. Say hello to them. Linda is a dreamer. She's a very curious girl, and she loves to live adventure. And with good heart. Because of her goodness and heart, sweet heart, she solves the problems whenever she takes adventures. you saw that she can transform whatever she wants. It doesn't really matter. It can be a rocket ship, it can be unicorn, whatsoever. And we have Rui, normal stuffed dog. We never know when Louis was with Linda from the beginning. And normal time, daytime, normal day, Louis is just being a stuffed dog, but when she took an adventure, she talked. He talks, actually. Actually, I don't know she or he, but the dog talk. And Linda will meet a lot of different kids, having different idea, and meeting them, the place, with different thoughts. So we have Victor, who wants to be an inventor, and Nina, and Lucy, and Nuna. Time goes. Let's go quick. And we have her father here, obviously very surprising. He's Korean, but she's blonde. But her mother, chief editor, well, stepmother, I'm the mother, chief editor Debbie McDonald, she's blonde, and she has great experience with Nickelodeon, right? Right. So yes, we're having a great time with her, with Korean writer. So it is very obvious here, if you see why I'm working with her. We want to go global. Asian animation can go global. This is the story. Linda goes to North Pole, but we don't have time. So Linda's creativity comes with this. What can I do to go to the North Pole? Ta-da! She became a penguin. Yes, she met a friend, Edward there, who's playing music with penguin, and happily ever after. Sorry, no time. And then this is our co-production partners and our broadcaster. Thank you for listening to me.
Hi, I just have a quick question about Linda. You talked a lot about her, in theory, father and mother, who are the chief editor and the writer or creator. But I just wanted to know, within the show, is there any adult supervision for Linda, or is she alone with the Louis and the other kids?
Oh, the Louis. Yeah,
Louis is the supervision?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, he's... I don't have his voice here,
Okay.
but he's
A grown.
has your voice, kind of.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So he does have, she does have the supervision of others, and actually he's sort of giving fun more in this show. So Linda is a superhero for kids. You know, kids want to be something else, not just by themselves. So she's the superhero, and then they're meeting at friends, and I think kids gonna be crazy for the ability of Linda, can be something else.
Cool, thanks.
What sort of problem solving or obstacles do you think she faces in each episode?
Each episode, there's things that what Linda sees at the shop. Let's say the quick story I just passed was Linda found the snowball which has no water. So she wants to go to the pole, the North Pole. I think it has to be South Pole. Anyway, and she goes there and she meet her friends Edward playing with penguin, the music. But the music wasn't that good. The problem was they don't know who the conductor is. You know why? They look all same. So Linda put her bow tie to the penguin, and see who's the conductor is. And then they play the music prettily, and then ended up, the penguin who thanks to Linda's, problem solved, and they took Linda to the beautiful water is, and then he took the water to the shop. The water actually, she's not really bring the water from the imagination. That's the water in the shop. But that's like how kids imagine what it is. Thank you.
Okay, so that ends the pitching round, and the judges will now go off for deliberation.
I've been thinking too much.
All right. So there's one winner, but congratulations to the other finalists. And I think everybody presented really well. I think pretty evolved what we saw today from the last few years. Every year we get some awesome pitches, and all of you already clearly winners. Can I invite the judges also to come on stage? So we're going to first give away the certificates before we announce the winner. So can I ask for Batu Ranger Afternoon Dreams to come over on stage? Can I request Ed to give this away? Can I call for the Limboon Siang, the Lost Chronicle Malaysia? Can I have Vijay give this out? Thank you. The Curious World of Linda, can we invite her, please? Thank you. Leslie? Can I have Ricky Group? Thank you. Fun Sian? Sian? We have one. All right. All right. Congratulations. Fabulous. Guys, shall we do it together? I think. Okay. All right. So. Okay. So basically, it's these guys who have chosen the. These guys. These guys are the one. The other. I mean, like, you know where to find them, right? Afterwards. All right. So it was not an easy decision, and there was one winner, and we were wondering whether we will be able to pick the Weatherville. So the winner is Weatherville. Congratulations.